Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. Today we are going to be pretty much doing the entire Shogun class list or Samurai class list. Pretty much how to get the entire class itself and everything like that. So I'll be showing you guys how to do that. First things first, though, I am going to be showcasing at the beginning of this video how to get the glider, the Badlands pylon, and the pretty much the desert pylon location. I don't say the desert pylon location because of the fact that like the Badlands location is going to be in that direction if you're going to be going straight from the forest. So I am kind of showcasing that one part of the video first. Just so you guys could actually see that part and not get not struggle with it. The entire journey itself is not going to be too bad. I would carry just a little bit of money just so you could get the 40 for your glider. Once you pretty much get the glider, or if you already use mementos for the gliders, you don't really need this part. I would remember that bridge, by the way, because I am going to be coming back to that. First thing I do is I actually get the glider here, but I already have the glider using mementos. So from the bridge, I do go up the mountain. Now there is a ring around the mountain area where you have to actually climb to the side. You could either climb from one side to the other side. I took the longer route, which is going around and climbing up the ring. There is a ring that surrounds the village itself of sandstone, as you could kind of tell. So there is one little corner pocket you can climb up if you want to go down that route of just going around it. Once we have this, though, we don't have much to worry about after that, and you'll notice why. At the beginning of the game, I did get the iron sword from the guide guy from the expeditioners, and that's going to be very, very important. That's kind of why I did the early game guide for this, is because I decided to go for that first, getting the expeditioners requirements, which is going to be 3 lurker hands. Once you get 3 lurker hands, you will be able to talk to the expeditionist guy and pretty much start that whole quest line. If you don't know where he is, he's in front of the entrance to the tundra. He also is where you could buy the sword itself. So you will be able to come back to this, of course. If you already use mementos, though, and you already have done sword classes in the past, you could totally already do that and have like a demonite sword already, so you don't have to worry about this. I do finish the quest line right here. I don't know why I kind of do like a double back, but I think it really just has to do with me showing the location of that guide, so you guys could see that. And then I go for the base class location here, which I think personally the iron sword is the best sword to go for this whole part of the progression, because there is some very important parts to this progression that you do need to worry about, such as getting enough money in order to actually complete the progression, because money is going to be a big part of this progression in general, due to the fact that the executioner class, which we are going for the super class, is going to be very expensive. But also I did get a few basic codexes just to add on to the amount of super codexes I have from the lizards, in order to actually focus on getting the super class that we are going to be aiming for. Now this is one of the more unique lanes that you kind of have to go down. And by the way, let me just go and go over this part. It is going to cost 42 EXP and 120 silver in order to get your basic class. Once we kind of do that, though, we're going to be focusing on getting to the jungle. And I'll be showing how to get to the location of that in this video right here, too. But one of the things I do want to talk about is going to be pretty much how to get to the lizard cave. And the lizard cave, if you go back to the Badlands, you could go from the guy who has the glider, and you could teleport down to the lizard cave, and you'll see it down here. I've kind of fought lizards for a while, and that's because you're going to need a lot of money pretty much to get the executioner class. The jungle pylon itself is not hard to get to. I do a little flyback right there because I didn't know if I was shooting too far, but all you have to do is pay attention to the giant lizard skull, and you should be good going into the jungle here. We're going to go straight for the pylon here in order to make sure that we have the jungle pylon. Whether you have the money or don't have the money, having all the pylons in the game is actually very good. It's going to help quite a bit. Now, from the jungle pylon, right next to it is going to be a tree that we're going to be climbing up to get to the superclass trainer. Now, to actually get the superclass trainer, we are going to need chaotic. So if you already farmed up enough codexes to get your superclass chaotic, this is kind of the direction that we have to go for this. And then after that, we're going to have to switch back to the good progression in order to get Imperium. Now right here, as you can see, it does cost 175 EXP and 685 silver for all of the moves and the what do you call it, the armor and the sword itself. I would recommend getting these things because honestly, getting the sword and the armor is going to be very helpful to your progression, including the climbing speed that you get from the armor and the damage you could do from getting the sword. Now, like I said, this is going to cost you just a little bit of like silver, a good chunk, I would say, compared to the amount of EXP that you're going to need. Once you have the amount of silver that you're going to need, we're going to be sneaking into the tundra and using an exploit, not an exploit, a pretty much a trick to get a bunch of like codexes incredibly quickly. As you can see, there is a method that we can use to climb into the tundra if you don't have Expeditioner, but the only reason I do this part is so I don't have to worry about other people. I do end up falling and dying right here to wolves, which is pretty funny, but once you actually get to that area, you will be able to server hop the wolves and farm up super codexes until you actually get the Imperial Ultra. Now, we are going to need to go it's pretty much a full 180 for the nature of your character in order to pretty much like get from one nature to the other nature. It's going to be very important that we actually focus on doing this as early as possible after getting your super class, because the farming method for you could be completely different from me, but I prefer this method overall, especially because in this next part of the video we're going to be discussing how to get to the castle location. Now, from this area, from the same wolf area, you can fly directly towards the bridge where you could start getting to the castle location. There are some little things that you do need to worry about here, such as some mobs that will get in your way. But honestly, the mobs are not really that hard to get through. There's only going to be 4 you're going to actually have to kill, and that's if they even spawn. One of them you could get away with despawning. So there's a trick right here you could use to despawn the golem, where you walk away and do a whole 180 onto this mountain. You will probably have to fight this bat. Honestly, bats lock on pretty quickly, so it is very annoying, but you will be able to kill it very quickly, especially with the Executioner class. So if you don't get the golem to despawn, you could just knock him off by forcing him to drag. You could drag him with your glider and then kind of force him to walk off the bridge. But after that, you are going to probably have to kill these wolves. They're spread out for a reason. They are kind of like there to stop you from getting closer. But honestly, if you've already killed enough wolves, you're not going to have a problem at all, especially because the Executioner class itself comes with a bunch of hyper armor and stuff like that. But after that, we pass by the Dark Church and we start climbing the mountain. You want to scale the mountain using the trees because that's pretty much the best way to do it. And this is also where the Dragon Ball Z Easter egg from the Z Broly movie is up there, which is pretty awesome. But after that, we're going to fly straight into the castle. Now, the thing is, you have to be a guy who does the, be a good guy, because if you're not a good guy, you will get flung from the whole castle area and pretty much be moved. But the reason why we're here is because we're going to be grabbing the book. Now, this book is actually how you teleport to the Sky Dojo by talking to the guy in the Badlands. After that, we enter the dojo, and some people say you have to talk to the guy, but I didn't have to talk to the guy. He really just spams the same riddle every single time. So you buy the Odachi, and then you begin your class training. Now, the first tatami mat that you actually have to go to is right there on Sky Island Dojo. And it's right there. Once you actually complete the tatami mat, you will get your ultra class. Technically, doing this whole progression is going to give you 2 mementos, because getting your ultra class is one thing, but then actually getting all the moves for the ultra class itself is another thing. Such as starting from the forest area, which I ended up resetting to because it is cheaper to reset to it than using a pylon fragment. I do use like 2 pylon fragments throughout this part, but this is how we get to the air mat location. The air mat will knock you into the abyss if you actually fail it, so I would not focus on failing these things. I would actually do it as quickly as possible. It is quite challenging, especially if you don't have quick reflexes, but it should not be a problem at all. Now, from the air tatami mat, we actually fly from the air tatami mat towards the beach area and towards if you already did the Expeditioner's part, which we did at the beginning of the video, using the 3 Lake Lurker hands, you will be able to talk to the goblin who will let you teleport to the volcano island. Now, honestly, this part of the video is probably going to be the longest part of the video itself, is because getting to that one part of the volcano island is actually a lot more harder because you have to do a lot of gliding and a lot of jumping. Now, a lot of climbing and a lot of gliding. We're going to be going from mountain to mountain. You want to reach the highest peak, then fly to the next mountain, climb to the highest peak, then fly to the next mountain, because the whole tatami mat is very, very deep within the lava area, which is not easy to get to. You can get to it from the bottom of the area, but then you're going to have to fight the mobs, and then you're going to fall into lava, and you're going to have like a whole bunch of problems, which I did not want to have. So instead, I took the long route, and I pretty much went from the top of the volcano area to get to the tatami mat as quickly as possible. As you can see right here, as safely as possible, I would like to say, not as quickly. And this is how you get the way of fire. Now, from the lava area, I actually, instead of taking a reset or anything like that, I actually used a pylon fragment and climbed my way to the top of the earth tatami mat, which is going to be at the very, very top of the Badlands Mountain. This mountain is not very hard to go up, honestly. It's probably one of the easier mountains to go up because it's literally just up. You might run into like one lizard, but at this point, if you're already an executioner, you already have the odachi, you're not going to have a problem at all progressing in this area or just getting further into it. And if you do fail this, like I do here, you die by getting smashed by a boulder. You do not lose lives whenever you die to the tatami mat, but yeah. Now, from the water location, it's actually incredibly easy to fly to the water location, deja vu, if you actually just jump straight from that little part that I was talking about. Whenever you first go in, you climb onto this tree right here on the edge, and then there you go. You're already at the final tatami mat that you're going to have to worry about in this progression. Now, I hope this video helped you out. You know, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Don't forget to pretty much put, comments down below if you want me to go over something in particular. But right at the end here, I do actually just go for my armor, which I completely forgot to do, which only costed me 125. I just didn't have enough money to buy it at the time. But now that I am the ultra class and I'm good, I can buy the armor, and I pretty much finish my progression. If I do this,
no.
it is
It's
an
gonna
old
send me
school.
flying.
It is an old
It's
school
gonna send.
Roblox door. Trust.
It's
Look,
gonna send me flying.
Ready?
Oh,
Oh my
like I was saying.
god!